witches.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Iron Flame.
I feel like my life is a flame. Oh my gosh. It's been a hot minute since I read this. Because, like, we were supposed to record this, like, 2 fucking weeks ago. And literally, because Kipper gets his stitches out tomorrow, which means that it's been almost 2 weeks. It's been 10 days since his surgery. And I think 12 days. I don't know. Anyway, he gets them out tomorrow, or hopefully he gets them out tomorrow. So it's just been a shit show of a couple of weeks. Cat almost dying, and it's just been a shit show.
Yeah.
But we're getting back to it.
Because you know why? We have no choice.
Yeah, well, it's like, then, once you're already down about something, you start, like, going down these little, like, spirally black holes. So you're like, and if capitalism didn't fucking suck, then we wouldn't have to do this. And then you start thinking about the government, and then you're like, oh, God. And then the planet's on fire, so even if you go somewhere else, which actually, I was looking, and it's really, really fucking hard to move somewhere else. Unless you're, like, a skilled worker, like, and you have some kind of special skills, which I don't. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be scary right now.
Yeah. Well, and like so I was looking at so we've been like talking about houses and like thinking about buying houses and all of that. And we're looking at like Zillow, realtor.com, all of these different places and like looking at different prices. And Will's owned houses before, so he's like, okay, this is the price of the house that we could probably afford. That way we could like still save money up and like still, like make ends meet. And I was like, okay. And I'm looking at these houses and I was like, you said this is the max amount of like rent we could pay a month. But these mortgages are saying that they're like this amount. And he goes, well, that's without the down payment. I was like, that's 20% with the down payment. What do you mean? That's 20%. And I don't understand. Like, I'm now in the housing department, like, world, and I'm, like, still learning a lot of things. But, like, everyone's talking about, like, the 6% this, 6%. Hello?
He's trying to drink water with it going on.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. Sorry, baby. But, like, everyone's talking about like a 6% hike in like taxes or like in just buying houses. And I'm like, where do I see that? Is that going to be like in the general price? Is that going to be in like a different price? Like, where would I find that? And Will like had to buy a whole new motorcycle because his motorcycle got smashed by a tree. Not because of storm damage, not because of anything, just because of a rotten tree that decided it was done with life and it just wanted to kill over. And I'm like, you know what? Same. I identify with that tree. Can I crash into something too?
Oh
and
my
then
God.
The same day we went and bought a brand new motorcycle for him because he needs, a vehicle to get to work. Oh, I hope his mom doesn't listen to the podcast because she doesn't know. Ugh.
Too late.
Well, we're about to find out. Maybe I should ask him, hey, do you still listen to the podcast? Maybe don't. So, see, you know what? That's how my brain has been working. I've just been so like everywhere. And then I went to a specialty fish store that we have that sells like saltwater fish because I really like the aquarium, but the aquarium's really expensive. And I don't want to go downtown. So I walk into the store and I look at all the pretty fish for free. Um, and I ended up walking out of there with fish items because I'm setting up an aquarium. And I was like, "Did I do this?" And Will's like, "Yeah, you did." He goes, "Just like I bought my motorcycle." And I was like, "Yeah, but you were given insurance money for that because it wasn't your fault. Like, I was not given any money. This is my own personal like money." He goes, "Yeah, but this is making you happy. Like you've done research on this for weeks. You've literally sat there on your phone watching videos of like aquascaping. This is what you want
You
to do.
truly
Like this
have.
is going to make you happy." And I didn't mean to do it on the podcast of saying that I have. And he's like, "You've sat there watched videos of this. Like this is going to make you happy." And I was like, "Yeah, well, that's a lot of money." And he goes, "Where else are we going to spend it?" And I was like, "Towards a house, towards a vacation." And he goes, "Yeah, that no, that hasn't happened in a long time. You've been saying that for a while." And I was like, ugh. I'm
I
just
know.
tired of being broke. And all
Because
these
we
fucking
spent a
homeowners that
lot of
I,
our fucking vacation money on the cat.
yeah,
So I know.
yeah. And all of these fucking homeowners that I work with, not with, but like I, that live at the HOA that I work under, come in and bitch about how their HOA fees are going up. And I'm like, you live at a location that like has a fucking pool that is open all year round. Like you bring in like 15 guests at a time that uses up all of the fucking pool items. Like you're trashing the shit. Like you're not keeping it clean. So like we're having to do more things, spend more money, more of your fucking money. There's only 230 people that live here. There's fucking structural damage. There's this damage. There's this damage. There's pests. Like there's things that are going on right now that are big time things. And you guys are fucking bitching about the HOA fees going up because insurance is going up. And the fact that there's no fucking mulch in the back of the property. Do you not see that we're tearing down like a gigantic side of the building over here? Where's the mulch in the back of the building? Like back here.
Priorities.
Ma'am, do you not see this $15,000 project on just the one floor? And now they have to go up to the third floor? That's going to be well over 50 grand. Guess who's buying that? Your money from the last 4 fucking years.
They don't care.
And then they're just like, why is my key fob turned off? And I'm like, because your child was jumping off of our pool deck, like our stuff into the pool. Like you're damaging the property. So
Oy.
okay, well one of those chairs is $1,000. Would you like to pay that? That doesn't include the fabric or the foam that you lay on. That's just the chair. Or do you want to have your key fob turned off for 2 weeks for a violation? That's outrageous. Well, that's what your board wanted 4 or 5 years ago. So
Yeah, so
that's why it's important to vote, people.
people are a hot mess.
I know. And I'm just sitting here like, you guys are going to bitch about all these things and then you're going to bitch about the economy. And I'm just like, you guys aren't even fucking voting. Like,
I
fucking
can't.
vote. Ugh.
I
But you know
can't.
what?
Like,
Social
even.
justice happens in this chapter.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yes, it does. Kind
The
of, a little
start
bit.
of social justice, I guess.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute since I read these chapters, but I think I remember what happened. So we're starting on chapter 31.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what happened. Oh, um, she gets caught, I guess. I'm not really sure how she gets caught. I think she just gets hurt. Um, The hell is that?
They were like an assassin came to kill her as she was like doing her guard duty or whatever, and she starts to slip off the top of this fucking tower. And all of a sudden, um, someone comes to her rescue.
Huh? Oh. Oh. Sorry. I was
I was like,
trying to
where are
figure out
you
where
at?
I'm at.
All of a sudden, someone comes to her rescue, and who else would it be but Jack fucking Barlow? And then this bitch,
Listen.
he wants to try to say, we're even now. Huh?
Okay. Hold up though. Hold up though. He was given a whole new life. I see his idea. I see it. I
I
don't
don't trust
understand
it.
it.
I don't trust it.
I I, I sees it.
I don't trust it.
I don't understand it though.
I don't trust it. I think he's lying. I think he's got a bigger end game. And by he, I mean Varish. I think Varish has a bigger end game here.
Yeah,
Because
for fucking sure.
I don't trust it. Um, and then they find out that they know where the fucking journals are because they've been talking to Jasenia, and Jasenia's looking for these vaults where the journals of like the original fucking people are.
Yeah, because
Um,
Jacinia is coming to her own like kind of conclusion without
yeah,
outside help.
yeah, because she's intelligent. Um, and just so happens that they're in the royal vault. Um, and Violet's all, then
You
it's a good thing we have access to a prince who happens to hate his father. It's all falling together too nicely. It's all in a
and
pretty little package and it's working out and I don't trust it.
and here's the thing. The fact that the king is hiding these journals, it's like, okay,
Okay.
you're behind it all. It's
Right.
your bloodline is behind it all.
Yeah, you know,
Which makes
you're
me wonder if like if the blood okay, if the king knows about this, does do his sons or like his like family, does his family know about this because it's like a royal thing? So like whoever takes
over.
will have to
Well,
continue that idea.
Eric is not supposed to know about it, I don't think. But he does.
Yeah, he made it weirdly suspicious that he his little commentary he made in like a prior chapter with Violet about called her Rose. I don't know why. Made me very
They're both flowers.
yeah. I guess for some reason I'm getting like Rose from like Vampire Academy vibes in a way. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I don't either.
um
She's more like Lisa than Rose, but
yeah, yeah. Um but I see what is it? It was just very weird. Like I was like, was he sent a spy?
right? Ooh.
Trey sent a spy. That's what I was thinking. Like when they were having their little conversation, but then she's sitting there like, oh well, he hates his father more than anything, and I'm like, huh?
Than anything, because we find out in maybe this next chapter that he hates someone else quite a bit as well. Speaking of that someone
Uh,
else, so okay, moving on to chapter 32 because that was the end of chapter 31.
yeah, it was only a page.
Yeah. Zayden shows up, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pissed.
And he's pissed because if we remember, Violet spilled the beans to fucking everybody. Like, she told Rhiannon, Sawyer, Riddick. That's it so far. They
Yeah,
haven't told
because we
Eric yet.
already knew about Justinia.
Yeah, Jasenia already knew. So she told all these people, um, and they're having a very healthy conversation about it. Um, oh, and Quinn. Imogen told Quinn.
Yeah.
Um, and they're having a super healthy conversation about it. Like, super healthy, lots of compromise and understanding. It's going well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being extremely sarcastic. It's not going well at all. Zayden's fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, it's my turn to talk right now. Sorry, Kemper. It's my turn to talk right now. You asked what I was thinking. Um, and so right now they're talking about stealing the journals. And he is pissed. He's like, this is not a good idea. Um, and then she's like, he's basically at the end, he's like, there's no chance I'm letting you do this on your own. And she's like, you're not going to argue or tell me there's another way. And then he says, and this is such a Brittany thing to say, I can't even. He says, me? Argue with you about books? I only pick fights I can win. And I'm like, ah, ah, ah. So then, okay,
Well, and
so
there's something too. Huh.
I'm on page
On that same
287. But
page.
what? Yeah.
On that same page, actually. Uh, on that same page about the whole book thing, he says, oh, what is it? He says, they'll kill us if we're
Mm-hmm.
caught, right? And then immediately she goes, us. I slide my hands up his chest. And it's like, girl, focus.
It's,
Focus.
yes, and then down at the bottom of the page, again, I love him no matter what he's done or why he did it. I still love him, and I know he cares about me. Maybe it isn't love, bitch. Are you fucking kidding me?
Girl, focus.
We are a book and a half in, and we're still. I know he doesn't really love me. He just cares about me, but what? I can't. She pisses me off. I'm
I'm sitting here
learning
like,
that people with main character energy just piss me off is apparently the case because 90% of the main characters that we read about piss me off.
would you rather read about a pick me girl or a main character energy?
Neither.
Those are your only
They're
two
basically the
options.
same. They're basically the same thing.
One goes out of their way to be obnoxious. The other one's just like, oh, he doesn't like me. It's like Taylor Swift, that one song. I wear t-shirts, she wears whatever.
Yeah.
It's that one.
Yeah.
Whatever that. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, so.
I know it's like You Belong With Me is the song.
Yeah, that one.
Um,
It's not that I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. It's I don't care enough to listen to every single one of her songs.
yeah.
But
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these main characters that we're reading about are that girl though.
what? The You Belong With Me?
Yeah, like they're
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the outcast one that's like can't believe that this person picked her.
I actually think these characters are like not not the pick me girl, not the oh that's my best friend. We go way back. kind of those like TikTok real, those obnoxious, like
Yeah.
really makes me want to punch the creator because it just pisses me off.
Fair. I don't know. I'm over some of these make it. The Feyre and this one. I'm over them. But there are enough side characters that have my heart that I will continue reading. She just gets on
What
my nerves.
about what
Maybe it
about
ends in
Vin?
love. Vin had her moments, but I liked Vin more. But I think a lot of the reason was because she felt younger
Mm-hmm.
and not as stupid. But there also wasn't a lot of romance in there. So like a lot of the times that these characters piss me off is when it's talking about their romance, and there wasn't really. I mean, there
I feel like
was,
Vin.
but not the whole time.
I feel like Vin also had to grow up early.
Yeah.
I feel like the 16-year-old, the shit that she was put through, I don't think she should have been put through, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
um,
Um. My next thing is on the top of page 289.
same.
And I wrote, Jesus, Satan, a heads up would have been nice.
I was just like, bro, why did you have to shove him? Now he's probably not gonna fucking help you, you dick. So they need Eric to help him get into the royal vault. They don't really know what's going on, like how they're gonna need his assistance. They just know that he needs to be there with him. Um, and then they see, or Eric shows up and sees Zayden, and Eric is pissed. Eric's like, "You think I'm gonna lift a finger for you?" Bodhi's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everyone, calm down." Violet goes, "You know what's happening out there, and you came here for a reason, right? Help us do something about it." And Eric goes, "You have no idea what he did to Alec." And Zayden goes, "Your brother was a craven, murderous prick." And then he just shoves him. Um, or yeah, he hooks his fingers into Violet's waistband and tugs him backwards, setting her slightly behind him before he shoves Eric through the wards into the hallway because they're in her like bedroom. And then he goes, "And I'm not sorry I killed him." And it's like,
Oh, okay.
Zayden, honey, can we talk about this for a second? We need him. I need you to shut the fuck up.
Right, and like knowing what my plan was and who I was going to get, why would you not fucking say something? Like, hey, this might be a little complicated. Like,
Hey, by the way, I killed his brother. He's probably really pissed off at me. Like, if
so
he
maybe
sees me.
like you'll want to ask him without me there. Like,
Let me just like
oh,
back up.
oh my god. Anyway, the only other
Overprotective
thing I
prick.
have in this entire chapter is just that this whole plan that they're coming up with feels a little half baked. Like, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel well thought out. It does not feel like it's going to be successful. Um, I'm
It felt
nervous.
very rushed.
Yeah. Which I'm guessing is because Zayden is there and they want to do it while he's there. But I don't know. I just it does not feel nothing about these chapters made me feel good about what was gonna happen. I was like, ooh, this is not none of this is good.
I'm honestly really curious about. Okay, at this point in the thing, they were talking about like the pest system. I'm sitting there like, what's the pest system? Like, automatically assuming like bugs come out and like try eating you, like little. I'm. Listen, I'm thinking like the House of Wind library. Like there is a demon down at the bottom of the library, like that comes up out of nowhere. That's the kind of pest system I'm like thinking of. And then when I find out what kind of pest system it was, I was like, oh no, that was a little anticlimactic, but I like mine better. But for the
I was
pest system,
imagining
oh,
a bug
we're
zapper.
the pests. You're what?
I was imagining like a bug zapper. And I wasn't too far off.
I was thinking like we would be like horribly eaten, petrified, like spiders, or I don't know, some stupid fucking Harry Potter.
You thought that
Like,
the pests were like the thing guarding it.
yeah, like little
No.
spiders that just walk around. Like,
Nope.
not
The
that the people in there were the pests
the
themselves.
people
Like,
are the pests. And if they don't get out in time, oops. So of course, there's
whatever.
like an Indiana Jones worthy escape scene at the end of this. But that is all I
I had
have
to
for
read
chapter
that.
32.
Same. I had to read that a few times because I was like, what? My brain just doesn't register those kinds of scenes, I don't think, because
I think
it
I
doesn't
start reading
matter who
so
writes them.
fast and like
Mm.
and like my
I skip
adrenaline
over
gets going,
details,
and so like yeah, I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And I read so fast that I miss things because I
and then I
also had to
stop
read
and
it
I'm
a
like, what?
second time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I stop and I'm like, what?
And there was like a
What is
part in
that?
that scene where she was like, the door was almost closed, and then like six more people got through, and I was like, what? So I was extra confused.
That's
But
what I'm saying. I was like, huh? But
oh, Eric.
yeah,
It says Eric. I couldn't read something in my notes earlier because I was looking over my notes to try to like refresh my memory about what was going on.
well, double A Rick.
Yeah, and I couldn't decide what this right here said.
A Rick.
It says Eric. Okay.
A Rick.
So hot mess. They're now at this point in the library, and they're like
Mm-hmm.
going down to where the royal uh
Vault.
vault is, and like there's
They have to
wards
get
over
down
it.
to the vault, to a
Yeah.
secret vault, to the royal vault.
Yes. There, and so at the beginning of chapter 33, they're now at the royal vault, and the wards are like super super strong, and only as far as they know, only a royal can get through them. So Violet's like, there's two journals, like you're gonna have to look fast basically. Then Eric's like, there's at least 500 books in there, grabs her arm and pulls her through the fucking ward. What if she
Will she
fucking
die?
died? Like,
No one
he
knows.
didn't know. He had no idea. Like, I don't know how I feel about Eric at this point. And then
Oh,
the next
and
thing,
Zayden is pissed.
oh, fucking pissed.
He's like,
Uh,
how the fuck?
yeah, he's fucking pissed. And he's like, Alec deserved, like, then he's like, I'm gonna kill him. And she's like, you'd be responsible for the death of two princes. And he's like, Alec deserved it. He was a bully and forfeited his life by coming after Garrick during threshing. Though I wonder who it was that told Eric, since if his father knew, I highly doubt I'd still be in possession of my head. And then she says, well, Eric doesn't deserve it, as she's still, like, looking for the journals. And then, Violet's Ravenclaw scribe training kicks in finally on page 299. And she asks Eric, where would your father keep his most precious possession? He'd want to show it off, right? And Eric says he'd want to keep it within easy reach. And then he's asking her about why they're looking for the journals. But this whole time she's like looking at the desk like it's a fucking like escape room puzzle. And she finally finds it. She finds the journals. And Eric
Basically,
reaches,
escape room puzzle.
basically. So Eric reaches in to the top of this pedestal and grabs the journals. And when his hands come back out, Um,
They
he
are
has,
burnt to a crisp.
yeah, like big ass fucking blisters all over his skin.
And here's the
For
thing,
the
they're down to 20 minutes at that point, and 10 minutes
right,
of that is going to be needed to come back up. So like this was a quick 40 minutes.
yeah, like this was quick, and he's like, I think the wards knew I wasn't him, talking about his father, the king. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm guessing that now they're gonna know that you were there. They're gonna know someone was there. And
There's
I
got to
don't
be
think
some type of warning system on this.
right. I don't think it's gonna be too hard of a leap for them to figure out who.
Mm-mm.
Um
Unless he's got like 8 other siblings.
right, in the Riders Quadrant though. Well, I guess they wouldn't have to be in the Riders Quadrant. They just have to be at Basgaiath.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're like running out, and this is the scene we were talking about. They're running to get to the fucking door. Um, and so the very last sentences are: Imogen races by, and Zayden reaches into the doorway as the seventh bell peals. Oh gosh, he's gonna lose an arm, and Eric, they're not gonna make it. The end of that chapter. And I was just like, what a way to end a chapter. Like, okay.
I know, I was like, huh? What? So then I had to
Yeah.
reread it, and I was like, what?
Right, like,
How did you get from point A to B? I'm not saying like it was a poorly written scene. It was not my favorite written scene because I didn't
yeah.
understand it.
No,
If
I
someone
struggled
can,
a little as well.
if someone can, there's a scene in a book that like Will wants me to read, and I've started it. It's called The Way of Kings, and it's his like one of his. It's one of the there's like a prequel to the prequel to the prequel to the story. I swear to God, there's like 8 different like scenes prior to the actual start of the story. And he was like, "It's so cool," and I was sitting there reading it, and I was like, "I don't understand anything." And he goes, "Hold on, hold on." He pulls up like an animated like 3D rendering of the scene, and I was like, "That is so fucking cool." So then I was able to go back and reread it and understand it.
Right.
That's what I need for this right here.
Right.
This particular scene.
Yeah,
Please and thank
it
you.
was like,
It was
yeah.
real rough.
It was rough, and like, woo. But
Indiana
because
Jones is not. Mm-mm.
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I imagine that scene where the ball is like coming down, and he's like running.
And
Yes,
he just pops
that's
out of nowhere. Oh,
that's what I'm picturing in my
made it.
head. Um. Okay, so now we're on chapter 34, which is a really short chapter, if I remember right, or maybe it wasn't, and I just didn't write a lot. It's fairly short.
I wrote one thing.
Um, I wrote
I
two
don't even
things.
remember what page. I think it's at the very end.
I wrote two things. The first was this was too easy because they're like, we did it, we did it, we did it, we're gonna make it back, like, and they're all running
We did
back to
We did it.
their
We did
fucking
it. Hooray!
right, and I'm like, this is too easy. It was too easy.
Uh-huh.
Something it was too easy. Um, and then they
Oh, Zayden immediately left.
yeah, Zayden has to leave.
They like slipped into like where they needed to go. Like these people went this way. These people. Okay, you can tell I do that a lot. These people went to like the cafeteria area. Zayden went like home, not home, but like back to where he was from, or not from, but like where he's stationed at.
He was taking the
And
other
then,
journal to Brennan,
yeah,
and Violet keeps one of the
and
journals.
um, and then what was it? Oh, and then she was going to she was trying to get up into her room to like take that to her room. Um, and then she gets stopped
I
on
couldn't believe, I was shook. I was fucking shocked.
I
Like,
know, I was really fucking upset. So
I was
she
too.
like as she says goodbye to Zayden, he takes off. She's just like breathing in the night air. She's just like, I can't believe we did this kind of thing. And then she turns to leave. She sees Nolan approaching her, carrying a wineskin in one hand and a pewter mug in the other. He looks very tired, like he's come from a major session or 12. She said, he's like, I was getting some lemonade when Jack told me he saw you out here, and I remembered that you were on my mending list. It's your favorite, if I remember. That's too kind of you. And don't worry about my shoulder, it's already healed. You know, I never got the chance to thank you for helping us during interrogation. I never like to see you hurt, and Varish has it out for you. Where is Rears? And anyway, I don't often see you apart on Saturdays. And then Jack Barlow walks across the courtyard, Caroline Ashton at his side with some other second years from First Swing. And then he gives her a nod. And then
She's like, the fuck?
he, yeah, and then Nolan goes, Violet, is everything all right? She goes, yeah, everything's fine. Zayden left earlier. We don't always get along. And then um she like took a drink at the lemonade and like glanced into the contents because she's like, man, the recipe's different.
Yeah, this
And she
tastes
looked
weird.
down and saw that she has a cream satchel and not a black satchel. And then all of a sudden her head blurs and swims, and then she can't get a hold of Taryn.
Yep.
And then every connection she has is fuzzy. And
Pink
then
triangle.
Nolan, yeah, and then Nolan, she's trusted him for years. Nolan goes, I never like to see you hurt, but I can't protect you from the consequences of your own actions when you risk the safety of every civilian in the kingdom. So Nolan fucking knows, first of all.
Yep.
Second of all, you hear footsteps as she's like swaying and falling. And Varish is above her going, why, Cadet Soaringale, what have you gotten yourself into? Bum.
Ugh.
Oh
And,
no.
yeah. And then I have a lot to say on the next two chapters.
Uh, I apparently had so much to say, I completely forgot that I was in chapter 36. So,
Yeah. So, chapter 35, she's like coming back awake. The first thing I wrote was on 309.
Same.
Um,
This is so good. I love this one.
because he's like, Varish orders an immediate formation and to check the hands of every cadet in the quadrant. So like they're checking for the blistery hands is what they're checking for. But I feel like shouldn't it be obvious? Like, has no one else, literally, truly, no one else has figured out who Eric is? Like, this seems
right. I guess he always looks down whenever he looks at people. Like he doesn't look at people straight in the eyes.
still like, and also fucking Dane knows. So like, it just seems unlikely. But then I didn't write anything else till 312 because like it's just.
So I've written two things. 309. So on 309, they're asking her questions because they have like truth saying or whatever in like as a signet, and I think Nolan is one of them. Is it Nolan or is it uh Markham? I think Markham is the one that has it. But like they're Varish is asking questions like Violet, please just explain. Was it an unsanctioned squad challenge, some kind of dare between second years? They're still trying to ascertain like exactly what's missing. Help us, please tell us, and this will go much easier for you. And then Varish goes, "No, you're missing the best parts of this. How? Not why. How?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "How can you assume that book isn't a reproduction if you haven't verified the original is even missing?" And then Markham said the coverlet wasn't disturbed, and yet we have a fucking journal. Is it a reproduction? He's trying to catch me in a lie. I wouldn't know, seeing as I haven't examined it. Truth. Oh, I'm guessing you have no proof, Major Varys, because none of you can cross a royal ward, and no one is volunteering to tell the king that there's been an alarm, false or otherwise. Please let me remind you, the last time someone accused me of lying without proof, they found themselves assigned to the furthest outpost Lucerys has to offer. And I'm like, yes. And then he's like, you mean Ados? No worries. I'll ferret out the evidence he needs while I have you here under my supervision, since you're proving to be competent instead of helpful, as Nolan had hoped. Greedy is such a stickler for rules, so our last encounter wasn't nearly as fruitful as I would have liked. Who stole that book for you? Because we both know you didn't. Select for truths, that's all I have within my arsenal to protect my friends. I alone put that particular book into my bag, or into its bag. She's telling the truth. And I'm done answering your questions. If you want to put me on trial, then call a quorum of wing leaders and do so according to the rules put forth in the codex. Because at the beginning of all of this, Nolan goes, "We're only going to ask you an X amount of questions."
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you just aren't asking the right questions. You're asking questions. You're not asking the
Yeah.
right kind of questions.
Exactly. You're giving her loopholes.
Find questions without loopholes, and maybe you'll find your answers, and maybe you'll be a better interrogator, Varish. But until then, you fucking
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah. And so this whole time,
And yeah,
oh,
he's just pissed.
yeah. And so as he starts uh like basically verbally torturing her, Liam shows up in her mind.
I know. Oh, you know it's bad if
And
somebody who's not there shows up.
yeah. So he's helping her like make it through. And they realize that Varish is setting a trap for Xaden. Like he's not just questioning her, he's setting a trap for Xaden because he knows that he will come for her. Which, of course, throughout all this, Violet's like, "Will he come for me? You dumb bitch."
Well, that's the thing too. I feel like if Taryn can't get a hold of her through any way, shape, or form, and like other dragons have like access to their like people, I feel like he would attempt to contact somebody, whether that be Xaden, Segale.
Yeah.
I don't fuck her. Her mom's dragon, somebody.
Right. But fucking Violet is like, she gets on my nerves in the love story aspect, but in every other aspect, she's a fucking badass because all of this is happening. Um, and Varish is like, "You're not the prize, Sorengale. You're the tool." Blah 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 blah, saying all this stupid shit, thinking he's won. And she goes, "Does Solus enjoy hiding?" And I'm just like, "You bad motherfucking bitch." Yes, like yes. And like she's so right because she's like, just because you've blocked my ability to talk to Taryn doesn't mean he doesn't know exactly what you've done to me. You're hunting Xaden, but Taryn is hunting Solus. You're the weaker on both counts. I might die in this chamber, but I promise you will. And I'm like, fuck yes. I like
You
this.
get him, Violet. You get him. And it's like,
Yes.
yes.
And then the next page, like this is all not working. Like he's still torturing her. He's doing all this. And then Nora, which was the lie detector girl, right? She's the one that knows if people
Yeah.
are lying. Um,
Yeah.
she's like, we could bring in Jack Barlow if this doesn't work. God knows he's been waiting for retribution. So I'm confused. Color me confused. Because is he like who is he playing? Is he playing Violet and he is playing a long game and he's going to kill her eventually? That's the more obvious scenario, right? Like that's what seems more likely. Or is he playing, like, does he know the truth now? And so he is playing along with Varish to try to help the other side. We need to know.
I don't know. Well, my thing is, did he was he the one that was being mended?
I don't think so. I don't think it took all that long to mend him. Because
I
they
don't think
mentioned
it
something
was either.
earlier about Dane practicing and then having to have Nolan mend people after Dane practiced. I don't think I don't think so.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. I don't think they would be saying we could just bring Jack Barlow in here. God knows he's been doing this if he
Right. If
was
he
the one
just got
being.
done healed, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been healed for a while.
And not only that, but I feel like they would have seen the change of behavior in him.
Yeah.
But because he's vice commandant and these guys are always around the vice commandant, I don't think they ever see what he does.
Yeah. Oh no.
But
Oh
then they bring
no.
Dane in.
Fucking Dane. Ugh. Ugh. So he's like, you've been torturing her for 5 days. And she's like, 5 days? It's only Thursday? Oh fuck. Like, um,
Damn, I need more time.
yeah. And she's like, or he's like, absolutely. She might have been a childhood friend, Ados, but we both know where her loyalties lie now. With Rierson and the war he's planning against us, she wants to bring down the wards. Fuck you. She's like, that's not true. I would never hurt civilians, Dane. You know. And he goes, I don't know shit about you anymore. Fuck you, Dane. Fuck you.
Do you?
Ugh. I hate him. And then, like, also, she's right fucking there. Like,
Right?
talk to her. I can't. He pisses me off more than she does.
Well, and the sad thing is he goes ahead and gets into her memories.
Yeah, he
And
does.
she tries
Fucker.
so hard to not uh she tries so hard not to like let out specific things and like to focus on what she has seen. So like not necessarily like see the the war, the rebellion, is it Arisha or Aretia?
I think it's
I'm gonna call
Arisha.
it Arisha. Which by the way, somebody I don't know if this is from the Audible thing or what, but somebody was pronouncing his last name Ryorson, and I was like,
I saw that. You
ugh,
sent me that. And I was like, no,
oh,
no.
absolutely not. Um, but anyways, so I don't know if like, well, anyways, Arisha. So she was trying to focus on like things away from like specific details, and try to focus everything on Liam and like the pain she felt and what she's been feeling since like Liam dying and like the wyvern and what he saw out there, what she saw out there that day.
Yep.
Um, and Dane saw everything. everything.
Yep.
Um, and it's really, really fucking sad. Because he goes, "You're smuggling weapons, stealing our weapons to aid another kingdom." And then she's like, "God, I'm an absolute failure." That's what he took out of everything. And she, "I'm so sorry I failed you," like looking to like Liam. And of course, Varys thought, uh, he was talking to her, and he's like, "As you should be."
Fuck you.
um, and then like they're obviously like calling for all of like leadership to come up to like leave to do something, and they're not like leaving. um, they're trying to figure out like where they're staging from, and Dane goes, "Give me that knife. I want to compare it to the one I saw in the memory, the ones they're stealing from us. Just don't kill her. We need to find the in question Rierson first. Use her as leverage. This is the one they're taking from out by the dozen, arming the enemy. I saw everything. There's at least one drift involved. My heart plummets. He knows. He saw everything despite my best efforts." Um, and then they're just like, "Good, good. Now tell me where they are." That's like all he cares about. He just wants to know where
He's
they are.
so fucked.
And he, Dane is like pissed. And he like puts the knife, the dagger to her throat and goes, "You should have trusted me, Violet. Um,
None of this would have
none of
happened if
this
you
would have
trust me.
happened. Yeah. And now it's just too late." And here's the thing. At this point, we don't know which way he's going to go, but like, could we have trusted Dane from the get go? Dane straight up the whole time didn't believe that she could have done this. So, like, yeah, our trust in Dane and what he did, said, and did, whatever, was diminished. However,
I don't
he
know.
is he is the kind of person to do it for like the better good, and like to go against those who are not doing it for the better good. So, like, could we have trusted them from the get go? I don't know. But then, so then he was like, she was like, "All right, I'm gonna die. This is just how it ends." And then he whips around, and he actually like stabs Varish instead.
Kemper.
and, and he lets what is it? He lets Violet out, and he's like, "I don't know if we can fight our way out of here. Can you move?" And then Varys pissed because he just got stabbed,
Yeah, and
but they're
like
like
this is
trying to
the
get out of here.
first time this is what I wrote about this scene because Dane finally does something good. And I was like, this is the first time I haven't wanted to throat punch him, but I swear to God, if they try to make him in game, I'm done. I've heard fan theories and rumors that they're going to try to make Dane endgame. And I swear I will be one of those nutcases out here burning my books if we try to make Dane endgame. I can't. I don't like him.
Yeah, no. the
Kemper.
Yeah, I don't know. But so but basically, um
Dane is
Dane,
helping her.
yeah, Dane is helping her. Dane doesn't want to kill Varys. Dane's like, "Let us pass and you'll live," like talking to Nora. And all of a sudden Nora's throat is slashed and she dies immediately, and someone behind her goes, "I make no such promises." And then all of a sudden Violet's looking at Onyx, gold flecked Onyx eyes. Say that 5 times fast. That is a lot.
Right.
And then
Yeah, and then that's the end of chapter 35.
35. 5. Yep, chapter 36.
Which I also had a lot to
Zayden's
say
here.
about, apparently. Zayden's here. And she's like, where are we at? She's like, you came, blah, 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 blah. Again, I
Oh yeah,
said,
because he was
and I
about
mean
to
this
kill
with
Dane.
all disrespect. Of
You
course he
dumb
fucking
bitch.
came, you dumb bitch.
You dumbass bitch.
I can't. Like, oh, you came. Would you not have burned down the world to get to him? So yes, he fucking came. You fucking idiot.
Wait, did he say that to her, or is that from another book?
No, I just said that, I think.
I was gonna say, I think you took that from another book.
Probably. That sounds like something I would do.
But anyways, so Zayden literally kills every single fucking person in his way to get down into this room, and now all that's left is Varish. And technically Dane, but that remains to be
Yeah.
seen if he survives or not. But Varish is like, he's like, oh, your father's going to be so disappointed in you to Ados, and Ados returns, goes, if he already knows what Violet showed me, then I'm the one disappointed in him. Okay, I'll give you a couple of snaps for that.
Okay.
Good job,
Yeah.
Dane.
All right.
All right.
All right. And then he picks up his sword like he's gonna kill Varish.
And Zane's like, absolutely not.
No.
Violet's gonna get the honors. He just tortured the fuck out of her for the last 5 days.
Yeah.
Not to
He said
mention the last time.
that honor belongs to Violet if she wants it. She does, I reply instantly. Yes. And then I wrote fucking swoon. And let me find why I said that. Oh, okay, here it is. So they're arguing back and forth. She's like, if you'll forfeit access to Basgaia's weapons. He says, I don't give a fuck. We'll get out of here. We'll figure it out once we are there. You'll lose everything you've worked for because of me. Then I'll have everything I need. I will happily watch Arisha burn to the ground again if it means you live. And he says, you don't mean that. And then fucking swoon. I do. I'm sorry if you expect me to do the noble thing. I warned you. I'm not sweet or soft or kind, and you fell anyway. This is what you get, Violet. Me. The good, the bad, the unforgivable, all of it. I am yours. You want to know something true? Something real? I love you. I'm in love with you. I have been since the night the snow fell on your hair and you kissed me for the first time. I'm grateful my life is tied to yours because it means I won't have to face a day without you in it. My heart only beats as long as yours does, and when you die, I'll meet Malik at your side. It's a damn good thing that you love me too, because you're stuck with me in this life and every other that could possibly follow.
I cried.
Like, I did too, okay? I don't usually get it when there's like book boyfriends that everyone's obsessed with. I don't, and I know I've said this before, I don't usually get it. I don't get Reese. I kind of get Cassian, but not really. I think that if they write a book about Az, I will get it. But this one, this man,
I get it.
in these words right here, I fucking get it. Okay? I fucking get it. All right? Okay.
I know. I was crying and I was like highlighting it, and in the midst of me highlighting it, Will comes in there and he's trying to give me a kiss, and he looks, he goes, are you okay? And I was like, I'm just reading. He's like, anything I can do? And I was like, he's just a good guy and I love him so much. He's like, okay, I'll let you read. And I was like, you don't say cute things like this to me ever. And he goes, whatever, I do too. And I was like, not like this. Not when you're fighting for your life.
Because you're totally doing that all the time.
Mentally.
Right, honestly. Oh my
Man,
god.
if I was fighting for my life physically, I'd probably die right away because I am physically unfit.
I would be like, here I am. Run me through. Make it quick, please.
She's like, is this bitch okay? Nah, she's just dying of asthma. What'd you make her do? Walk up a flight of stairs? And I will give her inhaler.
Oh my god. Accurate, though.
Anyways, but yeah, I was like crying.
Yeah.
Anyways, so um anyways, where was I? uh, sorry, that was a cackle that no one deserved to hear. Um Garrick's like, we have a problem. And Zayden goes, what kind of problem, Garrick? A general size one. And I was like, a general size one? What does that mean? And then my mother's blade is at his throat. And I was like, Mama Sorengale.
Uh-oh.
And
She
then
says, "Who did you kill?" Everyone.
it's like your mom finding out like the shit that you broke. It's like, what did you break? Everything. It's
Yeah.
like the disappointed everything.
And then she says, she gives her the antidote for the serum, and then she says, "I would have come sooner if I'd known. I didn't know, Violet. I swear it. I've been in Calder for the last week." And
We
uh,
see a different side of Mama Sorengale, and I honestly really, really appreciated this.
yeah, and I also
Like
really
we see the
appreciate what Zayden did to get all of the leadership to leave so he could break in and get her. I
yeah,
fucking like that's amazing.
right?
You of all people know the lengths I'll go in order to protect her. And since I'm pretty sure you're the reason we're getting reports of dragons dropping wyvern carcasses at every outpost we have along our border, the reason this college is emptying itself of most of the leadership in a rush to contain the problem, the least you can do is give me a chance to say goodbye to her. And she's like, "You what?" And I'm like, "You dumb bitch." She's so shocked about the lengths he will go to for her, and
Right?
I'm just like, how many times does he have to prove it to you for you
It's
to
like
believe it?
first of all, at this point, I would be more shocked of the links that your mother would go to protect you.
Yes.
At this
Then
point,
Zayden.
we
Like,
don't know, like we're gonna find out on the next page, like the those links, but like I would be like, the what? Looking at her.
right.
And then Zane's just casually like, I would have done it sooner, but it took me a couple of days to hunt them down and then to kill them.
This, I was fucking dying. Okay, on the next page, 326, um, she's like, I'm gonna give me 3 minutes. Like, and she's like, okay. And then Zayden is pissed. And he goes, 3 minutes, and I'll be at the top of this staircase. That warning is given to my mother as he starts up the steps with Garrick leading the way. Ados, did you decide to follow? Apparently, Dane says, waiting a few steps beneath me. Then fucking follow, Zayden orders. I can't wait. Now, if this is Endgame, if they end up having a bromance and that's Endgame, that I can live with.
Yeah, I would
I
love that. I think that'd be dope.
I can 100% live with that. That sounds great to me. As long as it's not him and Violet, because that pisses me off. But this shit's gonna be fun. I just love this dynamic already.
Yeah. But we do find out though that Mama Sorengale does in fact know about what's been happening outside of the wards, and her
She
reasoning
does.
behind it is that she's using, not necessarily using it as a way to protect her kids, but she wants to protect her kids, and that's why she's not wanting to tell them about what's happening and why. Cause, and then she's saying, when you have your own kids, then we can discuss like the lengths
You'll
that we will
go.
go to protect them. And she's like, but what about their children? And she goes, again, when you have your own, then you will see the links you will
Yeah.
go to do that. And she goes, it's not right to let them die defenseless. And she goes, I never said it was. And I knew you'd never see it our way, never agree with our stance on self preservation. Markham saw you as his protege, the next head of the scribes, the only applicant he thought smart enough, clever enough to continue weaving the complicated, blindfolded chosen for us hundreds of years ago. He made the mistake of thinking you'd be easy to control, but I know my daughter. And she goes, I'm sure you
Yeah.
think
I
that.
loved that.
And then she goes, I might be a stranger to you, Violet, but you are far from a stranger to me. Eventually, you discover the truth. Maybe not while in the scribe quadrant, but certainly by the time you made captain or major, when Markham would start bringing you into the fold, as we do with most of those ranks. And when they would unravel everything in the name of mercy or whatever emotion you'd blame, they would kill you for it. I'd already lost one child keeping our borders safe, and I wasn't willing to lose another. Why do you think I forced you into the Riders Quadrant? And that right there is when you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it all makes sense. And you're like,
Mm. Yeah.
damn. So like the little pieces of, was that worry on my mom's face? Was that like
Yeah.
on her?
Yep.
Like, and then she's like, oh, it's because you think less of the scribes. And she goes, bullshit. The love of my
Bullshit.
life was a scribe. And I'm like, you are fucking stupid, Violet.
She really is. She's got some Gryffindor energy happening for
Like,
sure. Very
first of all,
self-centeredness.
right. It's like, first of all, your father was a scribe. You had a great relationship with both of your parents as a child. Like, you never once talked about like how your relationship with both your parents were fucked up. You just talked about how your mom was one way, your dad was another way, and you were gonna do it this way. And that's that. And you wonder why Brennan was your favorite. Or was your mom's favorite. Probably because it looked like your fucking father.
Yeah.
But I do like that we see like the softer side of Lilith, because we never see the soft side of her. We always see the bitchy side of her, and I love it.
Yep. And then she says, I wrote, yeah, fuck you, bitch. Because she says, um, oh, in Violet, Sorengales walk or fly off the battlefield, but they're never carried. Fuck you. Like, fuck you.
If she was my mom, I'd be like, you're a fucking cunt.
Honestly, like, what the hell? Uh,
Like, just the exasperation of like, all right, I was just tortured for 5 days. Fuck you.
yeah, okay.
And we also find out that it's a Tirish custom to like cut or to like um do like the marks that Zayden has in his back for like all of the marked ones. That's a Tirish custom, which is why he did it for the marked ones and not necessarily why she did it for him, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even.
But
Um,
she did say that she called in a favor to Zayden to help keep you safe. Or to help keep
she
her
did.
safe. Not you safe, but her
Yeah,
safe. So like Zayden never truly once wanted to like kill her.
right. That was never the case. Um, then on page 329, so at the bottom of 328 into 329, Violet's like, Zayden's like, we're leaving, gather the marked ones and meet us at the flight field. And Violet's like, no, not just the marked ones. Like, this is our chance. Um, and Dane, being wing leader, goes out there, like, he calls formation and he tells them all the truth and is like, I'm like, okay, talk about a redemption arc. Like,
That's redemption art, Tamlin.
yeah,
That's what we call a
yeah,
redemption.
right, right. So I'm like, okay, I still don't fucking like him, and if he's endgame, I'm still pissed. But okay, all right, I like it.
Bromance, yes. Endgame with Violet, absolutely fucking not.
Absolutely fucking not. No, thank you.
If Violet ends up with nobody, that's fine. With Dane, we riot at dawn.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
That next book
Um,
comes out soon.
it does. I know. Ooey, ooey, ooh.
Well, and then we do find out too all of the ones that are interested in coming and all the ones who are not interested in coming. So they share the memory of what happened at Ressin.
I don't know why that keeps happening. Anyway.
That scared me. I thought somebody just popped up on in here. I was gonna be like, "Who the fuck are you?" I was about to get real mad. Um, but they shared the memory of Resson. They shared the memory of like the Wyvern, what happened with Liam, with everything that like everybody that was involved, and they gave them the choice of what they wanted to do, who they wanted to be with, where they wanted to go, all of that. And even some of the professors that stayed behind was like, "Oh, finally, yes."
Yes.
And Deborah being one of them. And I was like, yes, I knew
Yes.
she was a bad bitch. Because she said something on page 333. Um, da-da, da-da, da-da.
We
Oh, the
won't
rest of the
stop you.
professors look, yeah. The rest of the professors look upward as dragons fill the skyline, their wings flaring on approach. And it's like, uh-oh. Okay, well, this sucks. Because Car's there.
And we find out what Bodhi's
Uh,
signet is, and he's a fucking badass.
oh my god, yeah, right? Wait, what is it again?
He can counter
Oh, counter
others. So like,
signets.
yeah. So he like Carr started to throw fire at them, and Bodhi was like, "Nope."
Bye. And it's funny because he's like, well, you taught us well, professor. But yeah, so then Deborah's like, we won't stop you. In fact, some of us have been waiting to join you. And then Bodhi's like, really? And she goes, who do you think left the news about Zoya all over Battle Brief?
Fuck yeah, she did.
And it's like, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I am
I love
really
it.
sad though that Kaori didn't join.
Yeah. But we don't know why yet.
No, he just didn't show up.
Yeah.
He
He might
decided
not
not
even
to
be there.
go.
He might be out fighting or
Protect.
trying to contain the wyvern problem. So,
Yeah. I also think Carr was an asshole, so I'm glad he didn't show up.
yeah. And so this chapter, the end of this chapter is the end of part 1 of the book. And the end of it is just like fucking mwah, like fucking gold. Because they get to Arisha and Brennan comes running out and he's like, "What the fuck did you get her into this time?" And she goes, "He got me out." "Oh, then why is it she's half dead every time you bring her to me?" He's like, "Oh God, Violet, what did they do to you?" And she goes, "I'm all right. I could probably use some mending." And then all of these fucking dragons show up and start landing in the valley. And he's like, "What have you two done?" Zayden goes, "Ask your sister."
with shock and a touch of fear.
Yeah. And she goes, "I mean, you did say that you needed writers." Like, okay.
Here they
It's
are.
fine. This is fine.
We're fine.
And then that's
Everything's
the
fine.
end of part 1. So shit's about to get real, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. It's crazy. But
All right.
all right, until next time.
Bye.